Getting records. Everybody tell me, what is it about goal setting that gets you stumped now and then? What is it that's frustrating or you're trying to figure out?
Setting goals that are way too big.
Setting goals that are way too big. Okay, who told me that?
Rochelle.
All right, perfect. What else? What else happens with goal setting that's frustrating?
I think for me, it's learning how to break down a larger goal to smaller goals so it's more attainable and not intimidating.
Okay, awesome. Learning how to break it down. Okay, and that's one of my things I work really hard at, helping you figure out what work has to be done in a week, in a month, in a year to get to where you need to be. Okay, too big of goals. Rochelle, let me ask you, when you set a goal that's quote unquote too big and you don't achieve it, how frustrated do you get, or do you see you get farther than you would have and you're okay with it? Like, does it knock you off your block?
No, not me, but others on my team.
Okay. All right. And some might be trying to do what you do, which you go pretty big.
Yes.
So, okay. All right. Perfect. What else gets to you with goal setting?
Getting halfway through the month and not coming anywhere near your goal. And being frustrated.
Getting halfway there. Okay. When you do that, go ahead, Lena.
Oh, I'm sorry. Boy, I must have a unique voice. How you can tell?
No, your box lights up when you're talking.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I know my voice is squeaky, but
no, it's not.
I'm actually really terrible at setting goals, which is why I've been kind of quiet about this, because I go like all out all the time, and so I kind of am in that person in like roadrunner mode, and then like I'm like, oh look, I achieved that. Oh look, I achieved that. But I'm never really good at setting goals because I just feel like I want to set a goal and then like go because I got there. I'm always pushing forward, so I need to twist my thinking. Does that make sense?
Do you have a hard time celebrating when you do achieve something because you always have that next thing you want?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. Okay. So do you even set goals, or you just have something in the back of your mind you're pushing towards?
I don't set goals. I just have something in the back of my mind, or whatever I attain, I look at it and I say I want something better.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So with that being said, tell me who here has an experience, who loves to set goals? Who's had some good experiences and they want to keep having those?
Me.
Okay, go for it, Dodie.
That wasn't me, but I have too.
Okay, who was the first me?
Rochelle.
Okay, go for it, girl.
I like setting goals and accomplishing them because it makes me feel like, I can keep doing this and I can achieve anything that I strive to achieve.
Okay, awesome. And Dodie, go ahead.
I like setting goals, but especially for my team. And something just happened from yesterday since I saw you last, Michelle.
Wow.
So I told that the YK call that I did with them yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I shared with them writing down on a piece of paper and tucking away. I just got a message from Zoe this morning. She did that. I'm not kidding you, got 100 emails in her inbox of people wanting to join with this Germany launch group. It gives me the chills. She's like, I guess that does work. And I said, yeah, she's over the top.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me to have the goal of working with you to help my team, that's like, wow. Like,
very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did she find, we shouldn't get sidetracked, but you'll have to tell us how she found German contacts, because that's crazy. That's way exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Way cool. Way cool. Okay, with all these boxes.
Hey,
Hey, good morning, Miss Tiffany. I'm just gonna, I know most everybody else. Hi, Tiffany, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's been cutting off and on. So I
Okay.
keep coming down and then off. I don't know why. So I heard some of what you said, but not really.
Okay, no problem. Where are you from and what do you sell, my friend?
I'm sorry.
What do you sell and where are you from?
I am from Arizona. I'm under Alicia, who's under Dodie.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you're one of Dodie's girls. All right, perfect. Welcome. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay, you can leave your camera on your computer, mute your computer, and then call in on the phone. Sometimes that helps. Then you
It
can
just
still
cut me out.
call in on the phone. If it's cutting out, some of you are smooth. If you're cutting out, it's your internet connection, I'm afraid. I wish I had
Okay.
magic powers and control over all of them for you, but I don't. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's your connection. So you can just call in and then it won't cut out, and at least you can see a lot of what's going on. Okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. Okay, anyone else have a goal story they want to share before I get going? That was an awesome one that Dodie had. Anyone else? Elizabeth, you want to share your recruiting one for January?
Sure. So I'm Elizabeth and I'm with Pampered Chef. And I set a goal that I was going to recruit 3 people in January. And so knowing my odds of recruiting, which haven't necessarily been very good in the past, I
Well,
went.
you probably should also tell him you've had some health issues.
Oh, I've had health issues. I had surgery 2 months ago. I've been down and out. So January's my first month to get on the phone, undrugged, and make actual communication with people and make it make sense. So basically right now I'm having to work solely from home instead of doing so many home shows or in-home shows. And so I decided that the best way to do that and keep my team going is to build my team more. And so I set a goal that I was going to recruit 3 people every month.
Mm-hmm.
So, thinking in the past, every time I recruited 3 people, I had to talk to 15 people to get 3 to recruit. Well, I talked to my first 3 and signed them all with Michelle's recruiting script, which I love. Jen and I were just talking about it. And the nice part is it stays away from talking about the business so much. And it talks to them about finding out who they are instead of telling them and talking, which, I'm a very quiet and shy person. Not at all.
Not.
Not at all. So I like to talk. So it took it back to, I keep joking with Michelle that it took it back to my grandfather's rule when you were a kid that you don't get to come into a room and talk. You learn more when you listen. And it's so true that I just sat there and I would ask a question and then I would let them tell a story and tell me more about that if they didn't expand on it, and they did. And so basically I talked to 3 people and I recruited 3 people. Well, I take that back. I talked to 4 people and I recruited 3, but the 4th one is signing hopefully in the next day or so.
Woo!
So.
Okay, and this is without being able, we all know the more business we do, the easier it is to recruit, meaning sales and parties. So not being able to do sales and parties and recruiting, that's just a miracle in itself. So awesome. Congratulations. Okay. Well, but you didn't tell. Okay, so she had little Post-it notes, but tell them how you set your goals. Like we got sidetracked. This wasn't a recruiting call, it was a goal setting call. Yay!
Well, this is all about goal setting. So because I set my goal, and
how did you set your goal? Tell them what it looked like.
So you have to put it all around in front of you when you set a goal, and you have to have it constantly in front of you. Well, the only way for me to do that, because my office is in the back corner of the house. Yes, it's in my office, but I took little paint swatches from Home Depot. Okay, so I took a lot of them in multiple colors. Shh, don't tell anybody. Home Depot might not let me in anymore. But I took paint swatches and I put them up all over my house with the number 3 on it. my kids know what the 3 means. My husband knows what the 3 means. And so like everybody keeps checking in. Okay, where are you at on your 3 this month? You know, my littlest one, it's day 4 of the month. And she's like, Mom, do you have your 3 yet? And I'm like, no, not yet, sweetheart. I'm working on it. But so, you know, it's up and it's a constant reminder all over the house of that I want 3 every month. And changing the way the 3 looks is a big thing too. So last month I had it differently, and this month I have it on neon orange paint swatches.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So you all gave some really awesome examples of what to do. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go backwards a little bit and tell you a little bit why we set goals. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing those stories. I am crazy excited for you. This is so fun because it literally is like, it's like a miracle. It's almost like magic. And it's just so fun what can happen. And then when you learn a few tools to create habits, because Elizabeth just didn't post them and they come knocked on her door. Okay. She posted them and she did the work and she trained herself and she had habits. So there are those fun stories where we write something down, and I'll tell you a few bucket list stories here in a second. But there are those times where things just happen even though you didn't really do anything but put the word out. But at the same time, there's times that we need to do things. So I'll tell you why those things happen and hopefully what that gives you the energy to do. So goal setting is this amazing, amazing thing that really helps to promote change, helps to promote us having different habits, helps to give us more motivation and energy. All those things are increased when we're goal setting. When we're not thinking about what we want, that's when we get in trouble. So I want you to think about this. When you have a goal up or a picture or a word or a reminder or a screensaver about what you want, it's so much easier to stay focused on that and remember to work on it. Have you ever got to the end of 7 days or 30 days or maybe even a couple months with your business and realized, dang, I didn't work on it the way I hoped or planned or wanted to? Okay, it's easy for time to just like go away and you're like, where did all that time just go? And so part of it is you have to be nice to yourself and realize that you literally just haven't remembered to work on your business. Okay, and that may sound like a duh, like what do you mean remember? I know it's there. But you get going through your day, you get going through your routine, and all of a sudden you get to the end of the day and you go, oh my gosh, I never did XYZ. And you literally just forgot. Okay, so that's where the habit forming comes in, and we're going to talk about some of that. But the other thing is sometimes there's fear or lack of motivation or even remembering why it's worth doing something hard. Sometimes that slows us down too. And so both of these issues get addressed with these kind of tools. Goal setting is amazing. I have a personal belief that goal setting is just another way to pray always. And when we have that prayer, when we have that reminder up of what we want more than anything else, that keeps working on it. And, you know, you're someone who prays at night and prays in the morning, but you can have these little mini prayers in the day. You know, every time you see that 3, thinking about, okay, who out there is waiting for me? So I would assume that most of you have a pretty strong belief that someone needs your business opportunity or your product, right? You probably wouldn't be doing this if you didn't feel pretty strongly that somebody needed you and what you had to offer. So when you combine that with the knowledge that if you're not working on your goals, someone else can't work on theirs. So think about it. There are 3 people that Elizabeth met that last month, and she may have already known them, but finally connected with them, who now have their own goals that are going to be able to be achieved because she went after her goal. So think about that. Who is out there waiting to meet you, who has financial goals, they just want to feel better on the outside, who wants to cook more at home, who wants better things for their children instead of just video games or TV, okay? Those things that you're selling, who has goals and won't be able to accomplish their goals if you aren't out there and opening your mouth, okay? So you need that reminder, you need that motivation, and you need those habits, and you put those all into place, and here you help all these other people. So who gets excited thinking about that whole process, accomplishing your goals and somebody else accomplishing theirs because you're working on yours personally? Is that motivation? Give me a woohoo if that's motivation, ladies.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. We're all right. Where's my responsibility energy? I know some of you make as much noise as I do. Okay, so one of the things that's really important is that you understand that when you get started with setting goals, that a lot of people like just don't know what they want. When's the last time you sat down with a brand new recruit and you're talking to them about what are your goals for your business? Okay, that's what we're told to do to start out all our people, and it's a hard thing to get out of them. It's really kind of rough. Okay, to expect them to know what they want when you've been doing it maybe a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years, and you see what's possible. And here they are green. They haven't been to a convention. They've just been to a couple of parties. They like the products. I don't know what I want. So to expect them to have this goal of replacing their income or hitting a certain level in your company, they don't get it yet. Okay, they absolutely don't get it. So I have like this process so that you can get to those questions maybe 30, 60, 90 days into it. But we're giving them the opportunity to have lots of really awesome success and to create habits. Then they're going to be brave enough to tell you what they really want. Okay, so that's where this bucket list comes in. So it's kind of funny, whether it's a bucket list or Jody's had several experiences in the last month where she had something she needed. And I said, okay, write it on a piece of paper, write it on your Post-it note, put it aside, go to work and see what happens. And she didn't just sit back and eat bonbons. She went to work, okay? You get a lot more blessed, okay? That worked for me too. Cool, Adam. Okay, well, you'll have to tell us your story here in a second. So it's really important that you write things down. So I start everybody with a bucket list. Anyone who works with me, doesn't matter who you are, which class you've taken with me, I start everyone with a bucket list, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about bucket lists and why I'm so passionate about them. Because so many people will get some little small thing on their bucket list. It'll happen and they'll go, wow, this is like magic. Or you've had the situation where you just needed that little extra sales like Jody had, or some money for a certain situation, or you need, the 3 recruits, even though you're not out being able to do a lot of parties. You have that little goal and you put it down and you see that. I see it as kind of a miracle happen. And so here this thing happens, and then you realize, wow, if it'll happen for this thing, this little goal that's kind of important, but the world wouldn't come to an end if it didn't occur. Think about what can happen for those really big goals you want. Whether you're trying to replace a full-time income, or you're trying to pay off debt, or you're trying to be more financially responsible, or you have goals of what you're going to do with that money when you have more extra disposable income. I don't know if any of you have read Half the Sky or see this thing is called A Path Appears. It's this PBS and it talks about women's equality all over the world. But I've been watching these specials on Monday nights and I'm so passionate about helping people. And it's like, oh, I really got to get my business going even better because I so badly want to help these people who don't understand things, don't have certain things that I have. And it's just, gosh, it just got me refueled last night. I mean, I get refueled all the time, but it was just like my new little thing. I got to do this. I got to be able to help people who don't know what their options are and don't even know how to set goals. I mean, some of it's this like understanding belief I have, and I see these underprivileged people they're barely on survive mode. How do you get on thrive mode and set goals? So with that being said, I think a story just popped into my head. So this was in the days when Oprah was on at 4 p.m. Okay, so it was forever ago, it seems like. And there was this amazing story about this lady who lives in Africa. And she was married really, really young. And she already had several children. And there was this lady who came into their little village. And she sat down with the women and said, I want you to put down what you would love to have happen in your life. And she put on this paper that she wanted to go to the United States, and she wanted to get her bachelor's degree, then she wanted to get her master's degree, then she wanted to get her doctorate degree. Okay, this is where they don't even have running water. Okay, so imagine putting those goals down. She folded up this piece of paper and put it in this little, it looked like kind of a little sardine can, and she folded it up and buried it and put it under this rock. Well, she ended up getting this opportunity to come to the States and came with her husband and her children. And she got her bachelor's with a lot of hard work. Her husband is very abusive. Finally, she got out of this marriage, and I think she had either 5 or 6 kids, but she had a handful, okay, of children. She continued, and after she got her bachelor's, she went back home to her country, went and found her paper, checked it off her list, buried it back up, and put her can in the ground, put the rock back on it. Went back to the States. Finally was able to separate from her husband. I think he may have been deported. And then she got her master's degree. She went back to her country, found the paper, crossed it off, went back to the States, came back to the States. She got her doctorate's degree. And they went back with her. They filmed it. They went back, and she found her paper, dug it up, says, have her doctorates on it. And she'd written these things down. Now, this is someone who didn't even live in a country that she wanted to be in. Okay, like we're talking like dreaming bigger. I mean, some of us can't imagine getting a doctorate's degree, and we have, colleges either in our town or an hour away. And yet here this woman is in a country where, she was forced to get married and was young and had an abusive husband, and these things happen. Okay, these crazy, amazing things can happen. And it's all about saying what you want to have happen. Okay, there's this definition of prayer that says there are things that God has already predicated for you to have based on you asking for them. Okay, you have to actually ask for them. And that's where that writing it down is just a written prayer. That's all it is. Okay, and you just have little reminders to remind yourself to keep praying and working on that. And my prayer always is, help me find those who need this message and help those who need this message find me. And so the energy is going back both directions. So whoever needs you, they need you to pray for them too. Okay? So keeping that in your heart, who needs to find me, and amazing things happen. Okay? All right. So one of the things that's fun is about setting your goals. There's a couple ways you can do it. Rochelle was talking about, I just shoot way high and don't always accomplish it. Some of us are like, we just want to see the little things happen. So for some of you, it's safer to take a goal that you think is practical. And then I usually encourage you to increase it by about 10, 20% and just see if maybe a little bit more than you expected could happen. The other thing you can do is, if you like to write your goals down in sentences, write, I have at least. So one thing that Elizabeth could up her, little goal setting activity, she could say, I have at least 3 new recruits. Because, if you were given 4, that would just be terrible, right? You would just tell them to go away and wait a month. No, right? We would all be glad. So putting, I get at least this much is kind of a fun way to add to it. Okay? All right. So I have this fun little process with goal setting that usually kind of helps to break down the layers of what people want more than they realized. Okay. It was really funny. I just got an email like 5 minutes ago. There's a gal that's been working with me for 3 weeks. And she says, every time I sit down to work on my goals, I change them again. I realize, okay, no, this is what I want. No, this is what I really want. And that's what happens. As adults, we kind of have like these politically correct goals. Weight and finances and organize and time with family, and we're like, they're very, politically correct. And then you got to figure out, why do you want those things though? Why do you want to be healthy? Why do you want to be financially secure and responsible? How does that feel? What would you do different? It's those gut whys that make the difference. Okay. So right now we're going to do this activity. Everybody's going to do it. Okay. Before you get off this phone call, you got to have a couple things. So we're going to do a bucket list right this minute. You may have already done it, but I'll bet my money on it that you will put something new down that you hadn't thought about until today, because this happens all the time. You put something fun down. So, bucket list, 10 things. Okay, get writing. I don't care if you've written them before, that's fine. But we're going to write down 10 bucket list items. Okay, so hopefully you have a pen or you're thinking and you can put them in your brain. But 10 quick bucket list. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. All right, get writing. They can be places you want to visit. They can be people you want to meet, hobbies you want to try, experiences you want to have, memories you want to make. They don't have to be things that are wrapped up and put a bow on them. Elizabeth, get writing. She avoids bucket lists. I know her. She's laughing at me. I know her way too well. Okay. All right. Get writing down 10 bucket list things. See what pops into your head and your heart that you didn't expect to pop in there. Or something from your childhood that you haven't thought about for a while. Okay. Write stuff down. Just let it flow. Don't worry about what it is. Don't worry about how much money it is. Don't worry about how long it takes to get. Just put them down. Please list the areas. Okay, they're also in your agenda, but places you want to visit. So if there's places you want to travel, or even like, you want to go to the running of the bulls, or you want to go to a Mardi Gras in Louisiana. Sometimes they're more like, it's not just the place, but there's an activity there you want to do. Hobbies you want to try. Maybe you want to learn how to water ski. Maybe you want to jump out of an airplane. Maybe, I don't know, whatever it is, okay? People you want to meet. Maybe there's someone you really want to have lunch with someday. Okay. Experiences you want to have. Okay. So like one of mine a year ago, I wanted to have an international dinner group was my goal. Okay. So I found other couples in my area who had lived in other countries, or one of the spouses was from a different country, and all of us took turns making something from a different country. I lived in Denmark, so I made a traditional Danish dinner, and you get to celebrate their kind of traditions and learn something about another country. That was one of mine, okay? Or memories you want to make. So, like, my kids love studying about World War II, and for me, on my phone right now, you'd even see it. Let's see here. You see this? It's a map of Europe, because I want to take my kids to Germany, and I want to go back to Denmark. Okay, so whatever it is you want to have, or things like, but I want to have those memories with my two oldest right now, because they're into that and they like history and stuff. Okay, you can put down things. You can put down your dream house. You can put down your dream car. You can put down, you just really want stud diamond earrings. Whatever it is, you can put down things. Anything you want to can be put on there. Okay, so while you're listing that, I'm going to tell you about my cousin. She, her and I are about 6 months apart in age, and we graduated from high school, and one of us got married and one of us went off to college. Well, I went off to college and she got married, had these beautiful these big brown-eyed babies, and she loved being a mom, but her husband was not a nice man. He was abusive. And she got out of that marriage. She married another gentleman, very, very nice guy. He was in a much better situation, but hadn't been married to him very long. I'd written a book on goal setting, and I called her and I said, hey, will you review this book on goal setting for me? I'm going to be down in your area in a week, and we can chat, see what you think. I said, in the meantime, will you make a bucket list? And she says, oh, no. I kind of had a beat out of me. I'm not allowed to ask for what I want. I don't think I can do that. I mean, it was terrifying. And I get that it's terrifying for some of you, okay? This can be a really scary, hard activity for some people. But if they won't do a bucket list, they're not going to do their business goals. So it's really important that you start with all your people with the bucket list, okay? Rochelle's got 10. Awesome. Keep going. So one of the things, so Jody, she told me I can't do a bucket list. I don't think I can do that. And I said, okay, no problem. Just read the book and we'll talk about it when I get down there. So off I go. I meet her down there in Utah and we get chatting, and she goes, okay, I have to tell you something. I did make a bucket list. I said, you did? She says, yeah. I says, okay, awesome. What'd you put on it? She says, well, I do photography and I never have the guts to to charge anyone for my photography. I said, yeah. She says, well, I wrote down get paid for my photography. I'm like, yay! Because she needs to be brave enough to charge people for her hard work. So I was thrilled for her. I says, what else did you put on there? She says, I put on there, I want to go to Florida. And I said, awesome. She goes, but we cannot afford to go to Florida. And I said, okay. She says, but I put it on there. She says, but you wouldn't believe what had happened. So this had literally been 7 days. That's it. It's been 1 week. I'm not kidding. Only 7 days. So she goes, you're not believe what happened. My husband went to work the next day after I wrote my bucket list, and he works with a family who I had taken their pictures. And they came up to him and they said, you know what? We really want to thank Jody for taking our pictures. Can you give her this money and tell her thank you? Because we know if we give it to her that she won't take it. She hadn't taken another picture yet, and she got paid for her photography. She goes, but it gets even better than that. She says, my new husband, he had some extended family in town, and they're from Florida. They saw my work, and they're going to pay for me to go to Florida. Okay? This was 7 days, my friend. 7 days. And my poor dear cousin Jody needed more than anything to know that she could ask for what she wanted. Now, I will bet my money on you have some people on your team who are down and out, who have had some hard things happen in their life. And can you imagine, just imagine the power in them if they started setting goals and seeing little miracles happen? Doty's getting more miracles. Okay, when you have miracles happen for yourself and then you teach your team how to create that same power, can you imagine how amazing an experience that's going to be? It's worth way more than money, but we also need money. That's how the world goes around. I mean, it's just something that's necessary. But here you get both. Okay? I know. Jody's pretty awesome. It makes me cry too. Wendy, you're awesome. Okay? So you have an amazing opportunity. So please, 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 like when you take my extended trainings, we won't go into all of it today, but don't just start teaching them business skills. Okay? Make sure that you start with bucket lists and help them learn how to set goals, learn how to empower themselves by using this skill, because this is way more important than the business skills are technically. Okay? They can talk about their product enough, somebody will finally buy it. I can tell you how to do it and talk to less people and sell more stuff. Okay, that's one of my skills too. But if they're actually brave enough to open their mouth and talk about it, the people that they're supposed to meet will come in a little easier and a little smoother, and it's not such a chug and pull kind of situation. So it's really amazing what can happen. Okay? All right. So I want to hear from everybody one thing that you got on your bucket list. There's a couple people I need to unmute. So we're going to start with the people on the phone. So I have a 360-253-509-623 and a 952. Well, I don't even know where all those states are. Okay, so any of you on the phone, give me a shout out with one thing you put on your bucket list.
I'm the 952 to take my family to Europe.
Awesome. Who's 952? Who's that?
My name is Tammy, and that's in Minnesota.
Hi, Tammy. Nice to meet you. Going to
Nice
Europe.
to meet you too. Thank you.
You live
Yes,
in a little.
I would love. We have 4 kids, and I would love to. Someday I will take my family, my kiddos, and my family to Europe.
Awesome. I love it. I used to live in North Dakota, so I know you got the German and Norwegian going over there. You got a little mini Europe. Yeah, you have to go experience the real thing. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, who else is on the phone? What's your bucket list item?
This is Lena,
Go for
and
it.
I want to buy my husband out of his job.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, what else?
This is Tiffany. I'm the 623 number. My goal right now is I'd really like to make it to convention.
To convention. Awesome. Okay. Awesome.
I
What
think
else?
I'm just better myself. I've seen how well Doty's doing, and just she's such an inspiration. So I really want to do that.
Good job. Yes, she is an inspiration for sure. Okay, what else?
This is Allie Crichton, the 360 in
Okay.
Seaside, Oregon. I want to bring my husband home from work.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. We have one more, 253. Do you want to share?
253, this is Armika with Wine and Jigs.
Hi.
Hi. So one of my bucket lists is to finish recording songs that I've written that I've never finished and distribute to my family and friends.
Very cool. I like it. So yeah, they don't always have to be based on your business or anything like that. So that's awesome. I love it. Okay, we're going to start up here with Autumn. What's one thing on your list?
Hello.
Yeah, go for it, Autumn.
I have on there that I want to publish a book.
Publish a book? Very
Yeah.
cool. Is it a novel or do you know what you want to do?
Actually, I write a lot of poetry, and I've had a lot of it published in other books, but I want to write my own.
Awesome. I love it. Cool. Okay. Okay, Rochelle, you're next. What's your bucket list item? And Autumn, I want to hear your success story here in a second.
Okay.
I want to adopt a baby.
Wow. Okay, cool. All right, Jen, you're up.
I would like to, I don't know which one I should pick. I've got a lot.
That's more than one.
One of mine is I'd like to have dinner with Richard Branson.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And another one, I don't know who the gal was from Minnesota, but that reminded me I would love to take my children back on a camping trip to northern Minnesota where I grew up. So
Cool. Awesome. Way cool. Okay, Wendy, what's yours?
Oh, mine seems so small compared to everybody else's, but
No, there's no comparing. Go for
wanting
it.
to do, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's knitting socks.
Oh, cool. I think
want to
that's awesome.
learn how to knit 2 socks at a time.
Okay.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I love it. Okay, Dodie, you're up.
Okay, I'm freaking out. So, Michelle, you know that, well, and it's on my bucket list already, but it was on the one that I just wrote here. But you know how I wanted to shoot high for monthly sales?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to average $5,000 a month in sales. And I told you last week that when I first wrote that I had the biggest order I've ever had.
Uh-huh.
As we sit here, I'm not kidding you, my girlfriend's sitting right by me, back to back. Within the last 2 minutes, I've gotten 2 orders that came in from people I don't know, one for $213 and the other one for $107.
Oh, Dodie, you're so cute.
I'm telling you, Michelle, you're going to give me a heart attack.
I'm trying really hard.
Oh my gosh.
Keep going, girl. Okay. What's just one fun thing on your bucket list?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Zip lining.
Zip lining. Cool. Okay. Any country you want to do it in?
No, but you know, I've got a list of places I want to go, so maybe one of those.
Okay, awesome.
I did that in Mexico. It was really fun.
I like it. Very cool. Okay, Margot, you're up.
Well, I'm new to the Tri-Cities, and so my first thing on my bucket list is I want to make 5 new friends in the area because I know nobody.
All right, cool. I like it. Well done. Okay, and Pam, what's one of yours? She may have to type it down the bottom. Oh, Pam says get her car back in the garage and lower inventory. All right. Okay, sweet. Okay, Autumn, tell us your story real quick.
Okay, so I took one of your previous classes. I don't know which one it was, but you talk a lot about writing down things that you want and then just letting it go. So on a Monday, I wrote down I'm going to have 2 new recruits by Friday, which, you know, I had a lot of people are kind of like wish-washy. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to write it down, forget about it. So that Wednesday, I had somebody I previously talked to sign up, and Friday night, I had a lady contact me. She was trying to recruit me to join her company, and she ended up joining mine. And I had 2 ladies email me that same day that were interested that I've never heard of. Like I don't know them from Facebook or anything. They just emailed me and said that they wanted more information. So I'm writing everything down now because I'm a believer. It was crazy.
I am my little addicted goal setters.
Yes.
Oh, so fun. Awesome. Okay.
Michelle,
so yes.
Michelle,
yes.
This is Ramita again.
Hi.
So can I just add something really quick? Because I just wanted to kind of let people know why that particular thing, recording my songs, is on my bucket list.
Okay.
So I just wanted to tell everybody that a lot of the times there's things that we want to do and there's things that we really love or things that we're very passionate about, but work and life always comes first, and then the things that we like always come second or not at all. And the reason why that's on my bucket list is because I've been working since I was 14 years old for other people, and now that I'm working for myself, I'm able to make money and also make time for not just my family, but for me. So that's why that is like something that I am very excited about as a business owner, and I just wanted to share that.
Cool. So that whole being able to balance and having it all, or having it all at a certain time. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Armika. You're so much fun energy. Okay, Elizabeth, you think you got out of it. You didn't. What's on your bucket list? I know.
Dang it, I had to rush my kid off to school. I forgot she had to be at school early today. And I thought I was going to miss this. I asked Jen when I got back, I was like, is she done talking about bucket lists? I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, what's on your list?
I made her sit down.
Yeah, she made me. I put on my list of going to Italy, and then making sure that we take a family trip every year, no matter where it is. You know, like that this year it's going to be obviously really not a huge trip, but that they get big.
Trip. Still memories. Doesn't matter. Still memories. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well done. Okay, so one of the things, I got to see what time it is. I can talk forever. Okay, so when you're doing these activities with yourself and with your team, and what I wanted to get across is that here we are, the very 1st of February, and if you set goals the 1st of January, sometimes we set them at the 1st of the year, we get going, and then we don't ever set goals again during the year, even if, sometimes we didn't even set them in January. So I really, really, really want you to understand that there's an amazing power with resetting your goals and writing down the next thing. Please do not take it for granted that it happened once and that you don't do it again. Okay? Like, oh, I got this figured out. I'll just put it in my head. I don't worry about it. Okay? So I want you to make sure you keep these little Post-it notes around. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Stay consistent with that. Okay? Don't ever take that for granted. It's so important to understand that. The other thing is, I want you to treat this 1st of February just like it's the 1st of January. I want you to sit down with kind of a clean slate, put goals down, go look at your January ones. See if your goals have kind of evolved. If you have new whys for doing things, if you've got a little bit braver to set a bigger goal, if the goal you had before just doesn't sound like that's in coordinate that makes sense with the values and the family life you want to have. I mean, I have this one about killed me, but it was okay. I have people who will sit down and evaluate what they most want. I had a gal I was working with that was going to be on Shark Tank, and she decided her business was going well, but she decided if she gets on Shark Tank and it exploded, she wasn't going to be able to be the mom she wanted to her 5 kids, and it just wasn't the time. And so she literally paid me for her to help her realize it wasn't the right time to be on Shark Tank. And I really wanted her to be on Shark Tank. Okay, I won't deny it. But I could see she was at total peace because she figured out what was most important, and there's a time and a place. So sometimes that even happens as you're setting goals. You kind of reevaluate and go, okay, what does make sense, or how can I do this? But there's also another cool thing that happens with goal setting is that you do get miracles coming in and ways to think outside the box. Sometimes we have a bigger goal than we think we can accomplish, but sometimes we think outside the box and are able to do more than we think we could in the time and the energy and the resources that we have allotted to us. Okay, so I do see those kind of miracles happen all the time, just like Dodie was saying here. And Autumn, here they've got messages from people, and I've seen them on Facebook. I don't see you posting a ton more than you were 30 days ago or anything like that. So it's kind of cool. It really is about that energy you send out and letting it come in. I was talking to somebody the other night, and one of the things is sometimes we get worried about things happening. And so we work really hard, but we kind of have the brakes on because we don't dare ask for what we want. And you can't move forward as fast. You don't just let the brakes off and just go forward easily. Okay? So it's kind of amazing what happens. All right. So I'm not getting to this. Yeah, go ahead, Lena.
I just totally felt like you were talking to me. I'm sorry.
Well, then I remembered it was you. But yeah, we talked a little bit about breaks. Did you have any ahas with that after we talked about it?
No, it was I knew it was there. You just called me out on it.
I have a tendency to do that a little bit with people. Hopefully
no,
I did it
and that's
love.
good. Oh, of course. Yes, of course.
Okay. So the next thing that you want to realize is this involves creating new habits. Okay. So what I was saying is you do the bucket list. The next activity I like to teach people to do is family goal setting. You just take a big piece of paper, you write your goals out in full sentences on one side, flip it over, get your favorite Crayola, colored pencils, markers, and draw them out in pictures. And it's a really cool activity to do with your family, okay? And if we had more time, I'd let Elizabeth talk about it, but she's had some good experiences with that. My kids have done it every year for years. I could tell you story after story after story of miracles with my kids, at cool things that have happened in their lives because they put it down on paper. So get them doing it early, okay? And let them put down anything they want, even if you think you can't afford it. Miracles happen, okay? Don't limit what they put down, and it's okay if not all goals happen, okay? So I got to shorten this up. So then after they've done these activities and everybody's a little more on board on their house, that's where you start focusing on their personal business goals or your personal goals. Focus on what you want to have happen in the next 30 days, and then you can set 3 to 6, 12-month goals as this process is going and they've got more hope and they see why goal setting is important. Okay? Now, if you haven't got into really good habit forming mode in January with the goals you set, this is a great opportunity to kind of reevaluate how to create some better habits in your life. Okay? So 90% of what you do in your life is out of habit. And you have to remember that and quit beating yourself up when you don't perform as consistently as you know you need to accomplish your goal. It's literally because you're not making it a habit and you haven't scheduled it in, made a way to remind yourself. It's simply that. It's not laziness. It's not unorganized. It's not lack of motivation or education. Oh my gosh, the horrible things we all can say to ourselves. Okay, it's not any of those things. It is that there's just habits that haven't been formed. Sometimes you have a little fear, and we can do a tiny bit of little self-sabotaging, but most of the time it's habits, and I can help you overcome your fears, but that's a whole nother class, okay? So in regards to habit forming, what you want to do is break down your goal. So if you have a sales goal, so like Dodie, for example, I know one of the things she did, she said, this is how much I want to do in sales, and she's broke it down to how many parties and how many one-on-ones she wants to have, okay? And Elizabeth will laugh at me on this. She had a sales goal. She had a goal. Well, she was actually trying to earn a trip. And she just kind of threw out this big number. I'm going to make X amount of phone calls. And it was a huge amount. It was one that none of us would ever do, not even me. Okay. But the whole idea is she wanted to achieve this goal, but she hadn't stopped and broke it down. How many phone calls do I really need to make? Okay. And that's okay, but it's just a learning lesson. So what you want to do is you want to go, okay, how much in sales do I need to make? Or how many recruits do I need to have? And I would guess that in January, when she had a recruiting goal, she had an idea of, I'm going to have to call this many people to find 3 recruits. But it actually happened in 3 phone calls, where she knew she was probably going to have to make more phone calls than that. But she wasn't going to make the 300 that she was going to in November for her other goal, okay? And so that's where you start to get a little more logical about this, and you can figure it out. So break down your recruiting goal. How many do you need to have a week? And so you take your monthly goal, divide it by 4. But the next thing you need to do is to break it down by action. How many phone calls do I need to make book that many parties? How many interviews do I need to hold to recruit that many people? Okay. Based on that, how many people do I need to know? Do I have that many people on my list? No? Okay. What do you need to do to meet a few more people online or do some networking? Okay. That's the one thing I see is like team leaders will help their people set goals on how many parties they want to have or how much in sales or how many recruits they want to have. But sometimes we don't help them break it down to the exact activity. So after you figure out the activity, put it on your calendar. Okay, when are you going to do it? Set an alarm. If you don't take this career as seriously as you would a 9-to-5 job that you show up to, you're not going to have the same kind of success. When you go to a 9-to-5 job, you decide your clothes, you just set alarms, you make arrangements for your kids, you throw something in a crock pot, you change your habits. Okay, and if you do that, the same thing will happen in your business. You'll have really amazing success if you're as deliberate. And the problem is sometimes we go, oh, we have this flexibility because we're self-employed, but we flex ourselves out of working at all. Okay? It's about how you're going to work and when you're going to work. All right? So you can do amazing things. Get an accountability partner, set alarms, whatever you have to do, but realize it's your habits that you have to create. So with these goals and then the habits, I mean, Elizabeth was a perfect example on this. You merge those 2 together and amazing things happen. And it's all about those goals remind you to work, and then those habits are created easier. Okay? All right. So I want to tell you really quick, I have some brand new trainings that I just put on the website 2 nights ago. I am so excited about them. So everybody knows my symbol's a tree. I love my little vines and my trees, and so it's so exciting. So what we're calling them, instead of master grower gardener classes, they're master recruiting, master customer list building, and master sales classes. They will be 4 weeks. And all the activity you're going to do, it's about actual getting sales. It's not extra work. It's working smart with what you're already doing. Okay? So we're going to find you a whole bunch of new contacts if you want to do the customer list building one. If you want to recruit, you're going to have recruits by the end of the month. If you want extra sales, you're going to have more sales by the end of the month. This isn't learn it and then go apply it the next month. This is you're going to have more sales. You're going to have more recruits. You're going to have more people in your customer list if that's the class that you're taking. Okay. If you don't do the work, obviously you won't have it. Just listening to me isn't good enough, as much as, it is fun to hang with me, but you got to go do the work after you hang with me. Okay. But they are going to be amazing classes. They are 4 weeks. They are going to be really solid. This is what you're going to work on for a long period of time. Now, or for that 30 days. I have a 90-day challenge. That's awesome. Love the 90-day challenge. So if you're someone who you already have some business going, if your wheels are rolling and you have some things going, the things you're doing right, we just make a few little tweaks on and you learn a few skills. So that's the one for you. If you're at a standstill, or like you're really good at sales, but you're not good at recruiting, or if you've gone through your whole warm market and you need to find newer people to put in there, or if you're like, why is it I talk to people and my ratio is like 1 to 10 in sales? Okay, that's when you would do those classes. They're going to be Tuesday nights. Customers is at 6, sales is at 7, recruiting is at 8. They are $100 each, or 2 payments of $60. And you are going to get laser focused and get really, really excited about that one topic for 30 days. Now, I'm going to guess you're either after that, you'll do the 90-day challenge, or you'll take another one of those master classes, because you're going to be a little off balanced taking that one class, okay? You'll get really good at that one thing, and then and that's like you've established that habit in that one area. Then you're going to want the other ones, because you always have to have new customers, you always have to have sales, you always have to have recruits. That's just how it is. But I am way excited about these classes, because I did one a couple months ago just on recruiting, and this gal, she told me all she did was that 4-week recruiting class. And she says, my income went from $400 a month to $1,000 a month because of that 4-week course just on recruiting. So she's really excited. She was with Lemongrass. She's a sweet, sweet gal. And she works a full-time job too. So she doesn't work her business full-time because she has another job. So it's kind of exciting. So if you are interested in any of those classes, if you want to have a little chat with me about those classes, many of you are on the phone, so you can even just say, hey, Michelle, you need to give me a quick jingle. What I do is I call and I just talk to you about your goals, and we figure out which of those things are a good fit for you. Some of you are already taking classes with me, so you are already in line, you're already going. But if you would like more information about these classes, they are going to be super fun. You're going to write down your goals, exactly what you want to have happen in your sales, recruiting, or customer list building, and we're going to get you going in a nice forward motion. It's going to be a ton of fun. So who wants to have a little chat with me about those upcoming classes?
I do.
Hi, tell me your name real quick.
It's Lena.
Lena. No. Who's 623?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Okay, did you say me, or am I imagining things?
I was somebody else that said something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Your box lit up, so I thought it was you. Okay, Lena, we'll chat. You're already kind of set up, but we'll chat and see what you want to do, okay?
Yeah, I wanted to see maybe which would be the right direction.
I think where you're at, you want the 90-day challenge, but that's up to you. I think that's still the one that you need to move forward on. Okay. All right, Margot, I think I'm 99% sure I have your phone number. I'll give you a quick call and we'll get you going. Okay, anyone else? Anyone on the phone that wants a little quick chat?
Tammy, I'm the 952. I'm calling from my home phone number, so I'd give you my cell. I did send you a friend request as well.
Oh, perfect. Okay, did you sign up for the class, Tammy?
I think I did. I received a Facebook message from you too, actually. I was actually glad you reminded us. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. Send me let's see, let me go to Facebook. I'll accept your friend request and then send me a message with your phone number in it. Does that work? Or you can type.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Anyone else? Okay, so this call is going on again tonight at 6 p.m. It was also recorded. So if you have people that you want to send over here to listen to it and get excited, be sure and send them on the 6 o'clock call. You'll get an email after the 6 o'clock call with the recording. So you can forward that on to people and get them excited about their own goal setting and their own goals. And this is just super fun. Okay, so we need to do a drawing. Right now I have, let's see, how many people? I know I have Rochelle, Wendy, and Dodie. Who else posted on Facebook? Autumn?
I did.
Whose I did?
Margot.
Margot, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And who else?
I don't have you on there. I don't know who your first and last name though. This is Tiffany.
Tiffany, did you post on Facebook?
No, I got it from Dodie.
Okay, no, if you go to Facebook, I think maybe you come on after I talked about this. If you go to Facebook and post create CR number 8 success, you hashtag it, and then you put, I was hanging out with Michelle and I learned this fun stuff, then your name goes in a drawing. So if you want to do that, I'll put your name on the list for the drawing. It's for a 30-minute one-on-one with me, which is a $50 value.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Is it called the hashtag?
It's hashtag CR number 8 success.
Tiffany, just look at my page. Look at my Facebook page.
You'll see hashtags all over Dodi's. She's a devoted fan. I'm a very lucky girl.
Oh, I'm lucky.
All right. So I'm
Jen and I did it.
Who's I did it?
Jen and I.
Oh, Jen and okay, I got Jen and Elizabeth.
And Tammy, I just did it.
Tammy also. Okay, I'm going to go on and I'm going to change the time of the event to 6 p.m. If you guys would share this on your pages and get more people excited about coming tonight, I would love it, okay? Your referrals is what helps spread this message, okay? It does a way better job than Facebook does for me and my Facebook page. We know Facebook sucks and doesn't let the word out very well for us. So if you will share those, that would be awesome. So thank you for all your stories. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to pick my brain on goal setting?
Is it 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time?
Yes, ma'am, it sure is.
Okay, because I already messaged some of my girls that they're missing out on this, so I'll tell them.
Yeah, I will go change the time, which then you'll get a notification. All right, somebody got me to 700 likes. You guys are awesome. Woo! I was at 697 before we started the call.
Very nice.
It was me.
Thank you, Michelle.
Okay, you guys are amazing. Thank you for joining me. And I know I'm going to be talking to Margot and Tammy and Lena, right? Am I forgetting somebody? Armika, do you want to chat again?
We can chat again. That's fine. I just tomorrow, not today.
Okay. Yeah, because where we have these shorter and less expensive classes, maybe that will fit better in your schedule, in what your goals are that you have.
Exactly.
So, is business going good?
Business is going good. It was lull. There was a lull in second part of December, beginning of January, but I did meet my January goals, which was very simple: 2 parties, 2 events.
Awesome. But that's great for January. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, ladies, thank you for joining me. Send some people to the 6 o'clock class. We'll have some more fun. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your amazing stories. This makes me so excited.
Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, Pam, you posted too. Okay. I'll do the drawing and I'll post it on the thing.
Oh.
Have a good one.
Bye, Michelle.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, look under the. Okay. What are you girls doing?
I'm gonna stalk you. We were waiting for everyone to leave.
You're gonna stalk me. Oh, let me stop the recording. Hang on.